So I'm out here, I'm working on my next project. I've got the wood that I'm going to be using for the body right here. It's white ash. I am going to be building, let me grab my, I'm going to be building my version of PRS Miles Kennedy. So I took this thing, I actually used the photo that I got off the PRS website, imported it into my computer, cut it out in Fusion 360, and then used the laser cutter to cut my template out. So I'm using that to make this right here. So right now what I'm doing is jointing between the two boards so that I can get a clean glue joint, and then I will move on to kind of some of the next stuff. Probably not today, but I'll be working on that. What I have for the rest of this, a bunch of pieces of wood. I'll show you the other pieces that I've got. I should probably just put this microphone actually on my shirt. That would be a smart thing, since that's how it's designed to be used. So with that on my shirt, so I'm using this piece of bird's eye maple that I have had forever to make the neck. I need to check and make sure that it's flat and straight and square and all that stuff. And then I have a couple of different pieces of wood here that I can choose from my fretboard. Both are pieces of Bolivian rosewood. It's probably going to be this one here, just because the grain is a little bit more straight. It is almost quarter sawn, very, very close to it. Right thickness and everything. So I think that's probably going to be my fretboard. I already kind of have some ideas for fretboard inlays, which when we get to that I will show what I've got when I get there. My plan is to use the laser cutter to actually cut and make the inlays in the fretboard. So we'll get to that point and we'll see what we've got. But right now, today, I'm working on jointing these two pieces so that I can glue them together. They're very close right now, but there is a slight gap, so I want to get that as tight as I can so that it sort of hides that joint as much as possible. Alright, so ran this thing through table saw. The ends aren't perfectly square, but once this is all glued up, that joint is going to be nice and tight, and so we should be good to go. So next thing I really need to do is actually run this thing through the thickness planer and get the top and the bottom all squared away, and then we'll come back. So here's my grain options. It's not laying like perfectly flat, so it's not as good as it could be right now, but so I have that. I think I could spin it. So we have that, which I think is how I originally set it up. So I have sort of some white here and then white up there. Here's my template. See the lines there. So it kind of look like that. Or, I don't know that I love this grain here like that. Which this has been drying in my garage for like a year at this point, so I'm not concerned about it being not dry and warping later. It should be pretty good. I think I'm just going to stick with what I had originally thought of, which was that with the white streak. There's less of this grain here, got a little bit there, but I think that's probably the way to go. So, let's find some clamps and let's glue this thing up. I got my two pieces of the body glued together. I decided on this pattern. It does have the white streak down the middle of it. I don't know if you can see very well the outline that I drew of the guitar on there. But that's where I'm at right now with it. But I got this together. Feeling there was a little bit of a space there on the back that didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to, so I filled that in with a little bit of super glue. So once that's dry, I can sand it down smooth and it'll be fine. From here, I need to work on doing the neck blanks. I am going to do a scarf joint, very similar to the way that PRS does the actual Miles Kennedy version, although I am building it as a set neck versus a bolt-on, so it will be have a little bit of a break angle. It is going back to a wraparound bridge versus like a telly style thing. Haven't decided on the pickups yet. I don't know what I want to do for that, so once I get closer I'll kind of make up my mind. But I at least have the body glued together so I can kind of work on it from here. So you will see that in a future episode.